Hello there, this is Lab4. The class is Business Intelligence and Analysis. The class number is COM3024. I am today's presenter. My name is Kival Patel. So let's get started. So what we are going to discuss today. So first we are going to discuss about how to work with Panda libraries, how to create data frames and use different commands on it. Now you're plotting different graphs using matplotlib and plotly, and then at the last we are going to create Pareto chart. I will add my conclusion. So over here, as we can see, first we imported the pandas library, and using that we added a data on it. After adding data, we created data frames, and then presenting that data frames. After presenting the data frames, we are going to manipulate the index and how to make look it clear, because every single time when we are going to create any kind of data frame, during that time it will give a rank of that library which will start from 0. But if we are going to manipulate that data and index, so it will give you sorry. So through that we can just get a clear data and how to get that data with really ease. So after that we are going to use lock and ilock. The lock commands are usually used in order to get data from that particular row, and we are using that index number. And ilock is usually used in order to get the rank of that particular row. So I will take you on my lab now, which is over here. Sorry, it's the second one. Okay. So we got our tables over here, and when we are using 05 over here, we are going to getting data about Josh Elliott, and which car he has and how much price he paid. When we go on ilock, ilock usually used in order to give the rank. So number 5 usually come at the 6th row. So over here we are getting data about Krishna Patel and which car she has, and so on. So car sales. So over here we are going to rearrange the columns using the new command, which is the pd.dataframe, and then get that data frame and manipulate columns accordingly. Which rank do you want? So we can do it through this. So as we can see over here, the income was over here on the second last place, but usually we are getting data, but we are talking data about car sales, so we don't need income of that for that particular persona. So we just move the income to the end, and gender come at the second last number. So over here, as we can see that car sales and dot count. So count command is usually used in order to get information about how many rows contained by that particular columns. And as you can see over here, there are 10 rows each in every single column. So we are also getting the max command. Why we use max command? Max command is usually used in order to check all the table, and then in the whole table we are getting the information about the maximum value for that particular row, and it will display over here. The mini command is usually used in order to check all the data, and then it will consider number as the top, and then it will we can retrieve data which has the minimum value. So over here, using different columns, we can get data about the particular column. For example, as we can see over here, after using price column, we got the data about that particular car with price of $23,955 and 34 cents. We also have median command. Usually median command is showing information, not information, but it will give us an average about all the prices, which is 14,855.055. And then we can use a describe command. Why do we use describe command? The describe command is usually used in order to check data frame, and then from that data frame we will get all the information we usually require in order to have all the working things with ease. Over here, using this command, I am going to print this Lab4 into HTML page. So here is my, so now we are going to talk about airplane crash dataset. So in this dataset, we just got information about how many fatalities happen during years, and then in that particular year, how many people died, where this incident happened. So usually, sometimes it happens in ground, sometimes it happens in air, and then it is on abroad or not. So as we can see over here, I took the data and then created a bar graph. Why did I choose bar graph? With bar graph, it is really easy to calculate the values, and it is really it's a really good way to present something. So as we can see over here, during 1980s, there are so many people died because of airplane crashes. However, this graph also shows that from 1920s to 1980s, there is a really good rise in people who just started to travel from one place to another using plane, because it was really convenient. However, during that time we didn't have that many safety features. So because of that, after checking out there are so many deaths, all the planes and everything got their good care about it and added some new safety features. Because of that, in the after 40 years, so we can see a good decline in that ratio. So after that, I use the scatter chart. This is second graph which I use. It is the same graph but with scatter. The reason behind that, I wanted to use something new in order to display my data, and it was a really good way to display data about which is a 2D data, using that in abroad and then years. So now in the third place, I got my dataset about death by COVID-19. Now I will take you to my lab over here. Sorry. Yep. So what we are doing over here is, first we are going to create a data frame, and then using a Panda library, we are going to call that CSV file and make that CSV file into a data frame. In this data frame, we are going to use iplot. Iplot is used because in order to create an interactive graph. As we can see over here, I choose three different data about it. First is COVID-19 death, second is pneumonia death, and third is influenza death. So as we can see over here, all the data is showing that it's an interactive graph, and using this we can see that there is always a wave which comes once in a while. So that's why so many times people just say, okay, like the third wave come, fourth wave come. Why do we say that? Because of this library, because of this graph. As we can see over here, there is the highest number of pneumonia deaths which happen every single year. But because of COVID's so much influence on the people, we are not aware about it. But using this graph, we can see that every single time there is a flu which comes at the same time, all of them, and have their waves. Right after that, I also choose another scatter graph in order to visualize that. And during that time, it was a good experience for me, because over here sometimes it's really hard to find these spots, but using scatter graph we are able to find that spot with ease. And then I created a Pareto graph. Uh, So I choose the first data frame which I use in the starting, and then gave the index number, and then I added all values accordingly. So I'm comparing the car value and then income of that persona, and then we got this beautiful graph. As we can see, okay, with higher income people get higher car, but when people have a low income, they also have like a low income car. So that's all from my side. Sorry about that. Okay, so I already added my reference, and I'm also going to add my video link over here. That's all from me for today. Thank you very much for joining me, and have a good night. Thank you.